The year was 2075. Earth had changed a lot since the old days. Cities were taller and brighter. Machines were smarter. People lived with peace and hope for a better future. Yet, no one was ready for what was coming. It was a quiet morning in June. The sun was shining over New York City. People were going about their daily lives. Children were playing, cars moved smoothly on roads, and birds sang in the parks. But suddenly, everything changed, without warning. The sky above the city began to crack. It wasn't a normal crack like glass breaking. It was a deep, glowing tear stretching across the blue sky. People stopped and stared. Phones dropped from their hands. The birds stopped singing. Even the wind seemed to hold its breath. From the glowing crack, enormous ships started to appear. They were dark and shiny like giant black diamonds. They blocked the sunlight. Their shapes were strange, with long arms and sharp edges. These ships floated silently in the sky. No engines. No noise. Just a cold, empty silence. Everyone was frozen in fear. In seconds, the ships spread all over the world. They appeared above London, Tokyo, Sydney, and every major city. The crack in the sky slowly closed, but the ships stayed. People tried to send messages, but radio and internet signals failed. Panic began to spread. Then, without any warning, the ships opened fire. Bright blue beams of light shot down from the ships. Buildings exploded, streets cracked open, and the ground shook violently. People ran for cover, screaming in terror. The world was under attack. Far away from the cities, in the cold mountains of Alaska, a small group of people watched the skies. They were not soldiers. They were scientists and survivors hiding in a secret underground bunker. In that bunker lived a young girl named Ayla and her father, Dr. Elias Kane. Elias was a retired war scientist. He had seen many wars in his lifetime, but never one like this. Ayla sat on a metal bench, watching the glowing screen. The screen showed images from satellites. The giant ships hovered over cities, firing beams of destruction. "Dad," Ayla said, "who are they? Why are they here?" Elias looked tired but serious. He rubbed his face and said, "They're not from Earth, Ayla. They are aliens. They came to take our planet." Ayla's eyes grew wide. "Aliens? Like from the stories?" "Not stories," Elias replied. "Real. They want to control Earth. They want to enslave humanity." Ayla's heart beat fast. "But why? What do they want from us?" Elias shook his head. "We don't know yet. But we have to be ready." Back in the cities, the attack continued. People tried to fight back with their weapons, but nothing worked. The alien beams cut through tanks and planes as if they were paper. The world's armies were helpless. In London, a soldier named Marcus fought with all his strength. He looked up at the massive ship above him. His radio crackled. "Retreat! Retreat! We can't stop them!" Marcus refused to run. He gripped his rifle and fired at the ship. The beam bounced off. Nothing happened. His squad fell one by one. Meanwhile, on a ship high above Earth, the aliens watched. Their leader, a tall figure in shining armor, stood before a huge window. The leader's eyes glowed red. His name was Commander Vrex. Vrex spoke to his council through a dark screen. "The Earthlings are weak. They will break quickly. Prepare the next phase." A cold voice answered, "We must capture the young one. She is the key." Vrex narrowed his eyes. "Yes, find the girl named Ayla Kane. Bring her to me." Back in the bunker, Elias moved quickly. He unlocked a secret door behind the wall. Inside was a small room filled with strange machines and old books. He pulled out a heavy metal box covered in dust. The box had strange symbols glowing faintly on its surface. "This," Elias said, "is our last hope." Ayla looked at the box, curious and scared. "What is it?" "It's a weapon," Elias answered, "but not like guns or bombs. It's a power from the past, from an ancient time." Ayla touched the box carefully. It hummed softly. Can it stop them? She asked. Elias smiled faintly. It might, but only if you can unlock it. That night, Ayla had strange dreams. She saw the glowing crack in the sky again, but this time she was flying inside it. The ships were not scary here. They looked broken and lost. A voice whispered in her ear, soft and distant. They came for power ... but they will kneel. She woke up with a start, her heart pounding. Dad, she said, I think I know what I must do. Elias looked at her with hope and fear. The next morning, the world was a different place. The alien ship still floated silently above the cities. Fires burned everywhere. People had lost hope, but in the bunker, something new had begun. Ayla and Elias prepared to fight back. Suddenly, the sky cracked again. This time, it was not a tear. It was a message from the glowing crack. A beam of light shot down to the bunker. Ayla stepped forward. The light touched her forehead. She felt a strange warmth, like a fire and a river at the same time. Her eyes shone with a new light. She was no longer just a girl. She was something more, something powerful. The morning after the sky cracked open, the world was not the same. Cities were in ruins. Fires burned everywhere. People hid in fear. But deep inside the bunker in Alaska, a different kind of hope grew. Ayla woke early, her eyes still shining with the strange light from the night before. Her father, Dr. Elias Kane, was already working at a big table filled with old papers, machines, and glowing screens. Dad, Ayla said softly, what happened to me? Why did the light touch my forehead? Elias looked at her with tired eyes but a small smile. You touched something ancient, Ayla, something powerful. It's a part of a secret called Project Mindforge. Mindforge? Ayla repeated, curious. Yes, Elias said. A long time ago, before your time, scientists like me found ancient technology buried deep under the earth. This technology can change the mind, connect it to machines, and unlock great power. But it was dangerous. So we hid it, and we forgot it. Ayla looked at the dusty metal box Elias had shown her yesterday. Is this the Mindforge? Elias nodded. Yes, and you are the first person who can connect to it. Ayla felt a mix of fear and excitement. What does it mean? It means, Elias said, that you might be the key to saving Earth. For days, Ayla trained inside the bunker. She sat in a strange chair connected to wires and machines. The metal box was open now, glowing softly. When Ayla closed her eyes, she could see images in her mind, images of ancient cities, glowing machines, and strange symbols. She could feel energy moving inside her head, like a river flowing fast. Elias helped her focus. This is not magic, Ayla. It's science far beyond what we understand. Your mind is connecting to the ancient tech. One evening, as Ayla practiced, the bunker's alarm suddenly screamed. Elias jumped up. They found us. The Zirans are coming. Ayla's heart pounded. What do we do? We hide, Elias said. But first, I need to tell you everything. In the secret bunker, Elias told Ayla the full story. Thousands of years ago, he began. There was a race called the Primals. They were powerful beings who created advanced machines. These machines could change life itself. The Primals left their technology hidden on Earth, waiting for someone worthy to find it. The Zirans, the aliens attacking us, are not the first to want this power. They found traces of it in their travels, and now they have come to take it. Ayla listened carefully. So the Zirans want to use the Mindforge technology? Yes, Elias said. But their minds cannot connect to it like yours. You are special. That's why they want you. Far away, on a massive ship above Earth, Commander Vrex watched. He is connected, one of his officers said. A human girl. Her mind touches the Mindforge. Vrex's eyes narrowed. Bring her to me, alive. But she is protected, the officer warned. The humans hide her well. Vrex smiled coldly. We will find her. No one escapes the Zirans. Back in the bunker, Ayla struggled to control the mind forge. When she touched the glowing box, strange visions came to her. She saw the Zirans as they traveled across space, conquering worlds. But she also saw a secret inside the Ziran ships. Some were afraid. They whispered about a prophecy. Who will bring the end of war? They said. Ayla shivered. Is that me? She asked her father. Ilias nodded. Maybe. You have a power no one else has. One day, the bunker's door shook violently. Ayla and Elias looked outside. Shadows moved fast. They were Zirans searching. We can't fight them here, Elias said. We need to move. Elias activated a hidden elevator. It descended deep underground. Ayla held the glowing box tightly. Where are we going? To an ancient rebel base, Elias said. A place where humans fight back. The elevator stopped in a huge cave filled with old machines and lights. Ayla met other survivors, men and women who had lost their homes but not their will to fight. Among them was Marcus, the soldier Ayla had heard about from the news. We lost many, Marcus said grimly. But with you, we have hope. Ayla smiled weakly. I don't know how to help yet. You will, Marcus said. You already have. Ayla spent days learning. She practiced using the mind forge. She could send thoughts to machines and control energy. One morning, she connected her mind fully to the glowing box. Suddenly, a great wave of power surged through her. Her eyes glowed bright blue. The bunker shook. Through the connection, Ayla saw the Ziran ships moving above. She reached out with her mind and touched one. A beam of energy shot from the Ziran ship towards the sky. And then, the ship exploded. Everyone in the bunker cheered. Ayla smiled but felt tired. This is only the beginning, she said. Yes, Elias said. The Zirans will fight harder now. Days passed. The world watched in awe as one Ziran battleship fell. News spread quickly. Earth was fighting back, but the Zirans were angry. Commander Vrex prepared his next move. One night, Ayla dreamed again. This time she was not alone. A shadowy figure spoke to her. You are stronger than you know, Ayla. But power can be a curse. Who are you? Ayla asked. I am a friend, the figure said. But the road ahead is dangerous. Ayla woke up, her heart heavy. The next day, a message came from the Ziran ships. Give us the girl, the message said, or we will destroy what remains of your world. Ayla looked at Elias. We won't let them win, she said. Elias nodded. Prepare yourself, the real fight has just begun. Outside, the sky was quiet, but the battle for Earth had only just begun. The world was watching. After the first Ziran ship exploded, hope stirred in the hearts of many. For the first time, Earth was fighting back and winning. But the battle was far from over. Ayla and her small team left the bunker and traveled to a hidden rebel base deep inside a forest near the Canadian border. The base was a secret fortress built inside ancient caves, protected by old technology and strong walls. Here, survivors from all over the world had gathered. Marcus, the soldier, who had lost many friends, greeted Ayla with respect. You're the reason we're still alive, he said quietly. Ayla smiled but felt the weight of the war on her shoulders. I'm just learning. Marcus shook his head. You're more than that. You have power none of us understand. The rebels worked day and night to prepare for their first real attack against the Zirans. They had scavenged old weapons and built new machines powered by Ayla's mindforge energy. Ayla sat in the control room, focusing on the glowing box, the source of her power. Her eyes glowed faint blue as she connected her mind to the device. She could feel its energy flowing through her like electricity. Outside, the trees were quiet. The calm before the storm. Suddenly, alarms blared throughout the base. Ziran ships detected. A soldier shouted. Ayla opened her eyes. They're coming. Through the thick forest, giant shadows appeared. The Zirans were searching for the rebel base. Marcus grabbed his rifle. Get ready. The battle began. Ziran ships hovered above the trees, firing beams that burned everything. In their path, explosions rocked the ground. The rebels fired back, but their weapons barely scratched the alien ships. Ayla closed her eyes and reached out with her mind. She sent a wave of energy toward the nearest Ziran ship. The ship shook, sparks flying from its surface. Keep firing. Marcus shouted. Ayla focused harder. The ship's shields flickered, then collapsed. With a loud explosion, the ship crashed into the forest, setting trees on fire. The rebels cheered. The victory was short-lived. More Ziran ships arrived. Their commander, Vrex, landed on the battlefield with his elite hunters. He looked at Ayla from a distance. So the girl with the power, he said quietly. Let's see if she is as strong as they say. Vrex's hunters moved fast, cutting down rebels with deadly precision. Ayla ran through the battlefield, using her power to protect her friends. She created shields of energy, blocking enemy fire. She controlled machines, sending them to fight. But the Zirans were ruthless. At one point, Ayla found herself face to face with Vrex. His red eyes burned into hers. You cannot stop us, he said. Surrender now, and your pain will end. Ayla stood firm. I will never surrender. Vrex smiled cruelly and attacked. The fight between Ayla and Vrex was fierce. They moved quickly, dodging blasts and striking with energy. Ayla used everything she had learned, but Vrex was strong and experienced. Just when it seemed Vrex would win, Ayla remembered something her father had said. Power is not just strength, it is control. Ayla closed her eyes and calmed her mind. She focused not on attacking, but on understanding Vrex's energy. She reached out with her mind, searching for a weakness. Suddenly, she felt it. Vrex's anger was his weakness. Using her power, Ayla sent a wave of calm energy toward Vrex. His attack slowed. His red eyes softened. Why are you so angry? Ayla asked. Vrex hesitated. The battle stopped. Vrex lowered his weapon. Around them, rebels and hunters froze, unsure what to do. Ayla stepped closer. You don't have to be our enemy. Vrex looked around, confused. The war can end, Ayla said softly. If you choose it. For a moment, silence. Then Vrex spoke, his voice low. Maybe ... there is another way. The rebel base cheered. It was the first sign of peace. But Ayla knew the fight was not over. There were more enemies. More challenges. And a truth still hidden. That night, Ayla looked at the stars as she thought about the battle, about Vrex, and about the power inside her. A voice whispered in the wind, the real war is yet to come. Ayla shivered. The first strike was a victory, but the battle for Earth had only just begun. The rebel base was quiet after the first battle. The fires in the forest slowly died down, and the soldiers cleaned their weapons. But inside, the air was heavy with uncertainty. Ayla sat alone in the control room, staring at the glowing Mindforge box. Her eyes still shimmered blue from the fight. The victory felt strange, like a calm before a storm. Marcus came in quietly and sat beside her. You did good today. Ayla shook her head. I don't know. Vrex stopped fighting. Why? Marcus frowned. Maybe he's tired of war. Ayla looked out the window. The sky was darkening with thick clouds. Or maybe he's hiding something. That night, the rebels gathered around a large table to plan their next move. Elias stood in front of a holographic map of Earth, covered in red and blue marks. We have a choice, Elias said. We can attack the main Ziran base, but it's heavily guarded. Or we can try to find their weakness, something they don't want us to see. A soldier raised his hand. How do we find that? Elias looked at Ayla. She may be the key. The Mindforge lets her see what others can't. Ayla felt a chill. What do you mean? We need you to connect deeper, Elias said. To go inside the Ziran network and find their secrets. Ayla nodded slowly. She felt scared, but knew she had to try. In a quiet room, Ayla sat in the Mindforge chair. Wires connected her to the glowing box. The room filled with soft humming. She closed her eyes and reached out with her mind. Suddenly, she was inside a strange place, a dark space filled with floating lights and strange shapes. It was the Ziran network, a hidden system connecting their ships and mines. Ayla moved carefully. The network was like a maze, but her power lit the way as she explored. Ayla found Whisper's soft voices speaking in a language she barely understood. She listened closely. "They seek the core," one voice said. "The core is the power source," another whispered. "Protect it at all costs." Ayla's heart raced. The core? She followed the voices deeper until she reached a glowing orb, pulsing with energy. This had to be the Ziran core, the source of their power. If she could destroy it, the Zirans might lose their strength. Suddenly, alarm sounded in the real world. Ayla's eyes snapped open. "Something's wrong," Elias said. Outside the base, the trees shook violently. The Zirans were attacking again this time. Stronger than before, the rebels rushed to the battle stations. Ziran ships filled the sky, firing deadly beams. Ayla stood firm. "I know their secret now. We have to destroy the core." Marcus looked worried. "But it's deep inside their biggest ship. We can't just walk in. We'll have to fight our way," Elias said. The rebels prepared for the most dangerous mission yet. A small team, led by Ayla and Marcus, boarded fast ships and flew toward the largest Ziran mothership hovering above the ocean. The ship was massive, dark and cold, with sharp edges and glowing red lights. Ayla's heart pounded. "This is it," she whispered. Inside the ship, the team moved through dark corridors filled with strange machines and glowing symbols. Alien guards appeared, attacking without mercy. Ayla used her power to create energy shields and send waves of force. Marcus fought bravely, protecting her. The deeper they went, the stronger the energy became. Finally, they reached a huge chamber. In the center was the core, a bright, pulsing orb surrounded by metal arms. Ayla stepped forward. She reached out with her mind, connecting to the core. It fought back fiercely. Waves of energy hit her mind like storms. She gritted her teeth and held on. The core spoke in her mind, cold and angry. "You cannot stop us. The power is eternal." Ayla shouted. "Not if I destroy you." Using all her strength, Ayla sent a pulse of energy that shattered the core. The ship shook violently. "Retreat!" Marcus shouted. "The ship is going to explode." The team ran through the corridors, dodging falling debris and fire. Outside, the mothership burst into flames, crashing into the ocean with a giant explosion. Back at the rebel base, everyone cheered. The Zirans were weakened. Ayla smiled but felt tired. Elias put a hand on her shoulder. "You saved us today." Ayla looked at the sky. It was still dark, but stars shone through the clouds. She whispered, "The fight is not over. There's more to learn, and more to protect." That night, Ayla dreamed again. The shadowy figure appeared once more. "Your power grows," the figure said. "But beware, there are greater threats coming. The true enemy is still in the dark." Ayla woke up, feeling a cold wind on her face. The war for Earth was far from finished. After the fall of the giant Ziran mothership, the rebels had hope. The Zirans' power was weakened, and Earth's resistance was growing stronger. But inside the rebel base, a new threat was stirring, one no one expected. Ayla woke early, the Mindforge glowing softly beside her. She felt stronger, more connected to the ancient power. But something inside her felt strange, like a shadow moving in the corners of her mind. Elias noticed her quiet mood. "Are you all right, Ayla?" She nodded but did not speak. She wanted to understand the feeling better. That day, the rebels received troubling news. A spy had been found inside the base. "We don't know how long they've been here," Marcus said grimly. "But they've been sending information to the Zirans." Ayla's heart sank. "How did they get in?" Elias shook his head. The Zirans are clever. They use fear and trickery. We must find the spy before it's too late. The rebels searched. Everywhere. Everyone was suspicious. Ayla watched her friends carefully, wondering if anyone was hiding a secret. She tried to use the mind forge to sense the truth, but the feeling inside her grew stronger, like something was blocking her. One night, Ayla connected deeper to the mind forge, hoping for answers. In her mind, she entered a dark place, a shadowy world filled with whispers and strange shapes. Suddenly, she saw a figure cloaked in darkness, moving quickly through the shadows. Ayla reached out, but the figure disappeared. Then, a voice echoed in her mind, "You cannot trust even yourself." Ayla gasped and woke with a start. The next morning, Ayla gathered the leaders of the rebels. "There is a spy among us," she said, "and I believe the Zirans are using mind control." Marcus frowned. "You think someone is controlled by the Zirans?" Ayla nodded. "Yes, and it could be anyone." The rebels set a trap. They pretended to receive a secret message and waited to see who would try to send it to the 0ns.days, passed with no sign. Then, one night, the alarm sounded. A rebel named Yalan was caught trying to send the message. Yalan was brought before the leaders. His eyes were glassy, and his voice was flat. "I only do what I must," he said quietly. Ayla studied him carefully. She reached out with her mind, trying to break the control. Suddenly, Yalan's eyes flashed with pain. He whispered, "They are inside me. The darkness. The rebels realized the Zirans had found a way to plant mind control devices inside humans, a hidden poison. Elias examined Yalan and found a small chip inside his neck. "We must remove it," Elias said. "But it's dangerous." Ayla knew time was running out. More spies could be inside the base. She decided to connect fully with the mind forge and search for all hidden devices. As she connected, the strange shadow from her dreams appeared again. "You cannot stop what is already inside you," it whispered. Ayla fought hard, pushing the darkness away. Suddenly she saw images, faces of rebels, friends she trusted, marked by small glowing chips. Her heart broke. She realized the Zirans had already infiltrated the base deeply. Ayla told the leaders, "We must act quickly and carefully." "We cannot fight each other," Marcus nodded. "Then we'll use science and trust." The rebels began searching every person, carefully removing the chips. It was painful, and some resisted. Ayla helped calm them, using her powers to heal and protect. Days later, the spy network was destroyed, but the cost was high. Trust was fragile. The rebels felt the weight of the war inside their own walls. That night, Ayla sat alone, exhausted. The shadowy figure appeared one last time. "Your strength grows," it said. "But the greatest enemy is the enemy within." Ayla closed her eyes, ready for the challenges ahead. The war was not just outside. It was inside every heart. And the fight for Earth was far from over. The spy crisis left the rebels shaken, but more determined. The Zirans' mind control chips were gone, but the fear they planted remained. Every face was watched closely. Every word measured. Ayla felt the weight of her power and responsibility. More than ever, she had saved the rebel base from inside threats, but now the enemy waited outside, preparing for a new kind of war. Days passed quietly, but the silence was strange. No Ziran ships appeared above the forest. No attacks hit the rebel base. Marcus stood beside Ayla. "They're waiting." Ayla nodded. "They want to break us without fighting." The rebels called it a siege, but it was not like any siege in history. The Zirans had cut off supplies, communication, and reinforcements. The rebels were trapped in their hidden base. Inside the base, tensions rose. Food and medicine supplies ran low. People whispered about surrender. Ayla stood before the gathered rebels. "We cannot give up," Marcus raised his voice. "We will fight with what we have." But Ayla knew words alone wouldn't save them. One night, Ayla connected to the mind forge. Again, her eyes glowed bright blue as she reached out with her mind. She searched the dark forest surrounding the base. Then, she saw them silent drones. Hidden in the trees, the Zirans were watching every move. Ayla warned the leaders. "We are being watched." Elias frowned. "We must find those drones and destroy them." But the drones were invisible to normal eyes, moving quietly and sending signals to the Zirans. The rebels organized. Small teams to hunt the drones. Yla joined one. They moved carefully through the dark forest, listening for any sign. Suddenly, a small drone buzzed near Ayla's ear. She raised her hand, sending a pulse of energy. The drone exploded in sparks. The other drones reacted immediately. More flew in like angry hornets. Ayla used her power to create a shield protecting her team. The forest lit up with flashes as rebels and drones fought. After the battle, the rebels destroyed several drones, but more kept coming. Marcus said, "They're trying to wear us down." Ayla looked at the sky. The stars were hidden behind thick clouds. Hope seemed distant. Inside the base, Ayla discovered another problem, that the mind forge was draining her energy faster than before. Each connection left her weaker. She told Elias, "I don't know how much longer I can do this." Elias examined the glowing box. "The mind forge is linked to your mind and body. It takes a lot from you." Ayla swallowed hard. "What if I fail?" Elias smiled gently. "You won't." Meanwhile, Commander Vrex watched from his ship. "The humans resist," he said to his officers. "But their power is tied to that girl." Vrex's eyes burned with hatred. "Find a way to cut her off from the mind forge." One night, the rebels were attacked. Silent shadows slipped into the base, trying to sabotage their machines. Yla woke to alarms. She raced to the control room. There, she saw a Ziran assassin, stealthy and deadly. The assassin attacked. Ayla fought back with energy blasts and shield walls. The fight was close. The assassin moved fast, but Ayla's power was stronger. Finally, she trapped the assassin in a cage of light. The assassin hissed, "This is not over." Ayla said firmly, "Neither is the fight for Earth." The silent siege continued. The rebels grew tired, but not broken. Ayla knew the real battle was coming, and she had to be ready. She stood at the edge of the forest, looking at the dark horizon. The stars appeared for a moment, a sign of hope. Ayla whispered, "We will survive." The silent siege had lasted weeks. The rebels were exhausted, but Ayla refused to give up. Every day she grew stronger and more determined to find the real reason behind the Ziran invasion. One morning, Elias called a meeting. "We've learned something new," he said, pointing at a glowing map. "The Zirans aren't just here to conquer Earth. They're searching for something hidden deep beneath the Earth's surface." Ayla's eyes widened. "What is it?" Elias shook his head. "We don't know. But the Zirans believe it holds a power greater than the mind forge." The rebel leaders decided to send a team to find this secret. Ayla volunteered. "This could be the key to ending the war," she said. Marcus and a small group of fighters joined her. They traveled underground through ancient tunnels and caves. Guided by old maps Elias found in the rebel archives. The air was cold and heavy. Strange symbols covered the walls. Ayla felt the mind forge pulsing with energy as they moved closer to the secret. Suddenly, the ground shook. A hidden door opened slowly. Inside was a glowing chamber, filled with strange machines and crystals. In the center stood a giant orb, pulsing with light. "This must be the source," Marcus whispered. Ayla stepped forward and reached out. The orb responded to her touch, filling her mind with visions. She saw the history of the Zirans, once peaceful race corrupted by their desire for power. She saw their leader, Vrex, turning dark and cruel. And she saw Earth once part of a great galactic alliance. The truth hit Ayla hard. The Zirans weren't evil from the start. They had been corrupted by fear and hate. And Earth was more important than she realized. Suddenly, Alarms rang through the tunnels that the Zirans had found them. Ayla and the team prepared for battle. The Ziran hunters poured into the chamber, weapons ready. The fight was fierce. Ayla used all her power to protect her friends. Marcus fought with bravery. In the chaos, Ayla realized the orb was unstable. If it exploded, it could destroy everything. She reached inside the orb, risking her life to stabilize it. Energy surged through her body. She felt pain, but also power. With one final effort, Ayla calmed the orb. The Zirans were defeated or fled. The chamber grew quiet. Back at the rebel base, Ayla shared what she learned. Power here could end the war, she said, but we must use it wisely. Elias nodded. We have a new weapon and a new hope. But Vrex was not finished. He watched from his ship, planning his next move. The girl thinks she understands, he said coldly, but she knows nothing of true power. Ayla looked at the stars that night. She felt the weight of the secret. The war for Earth was far from over. The rebels had found the secret beneath the earth, the great power that could end the war. But the final battle was still ahead. Vrex, the Ziran commander, was preparing his ultimate strike. Ayla stood with Elias and Marcus on the rebel bases. Highest tower. The sky was dark and heavy, filled with thick clouds and distant lightning. The Ziran's fleet appeared on the horizon, dozens of ships moving like shadows. This is it, Elias said. They want to crush us once and for all. Alila's eyes glowed blue with mind-forge energy. Then we will fight together. The rebels prepared their defenses. Fighters armed themselves. Machines hummed to life. And Ayla connected deeply to the mind forge, feeling the power of the ancient orb inside her. The first Ziran ships attacked, firing beams that shook the ground. The rebels fought bravely, but the enemy was strong. Vrex landed on the battlefield, his red eyes burning with fury. You think you can stop me? He growled. I am power itself. Ayla faced Vrex, her heart steady. We fight for peace, she said. Their battle was fierce energy. Clashed with energy, light with darkness. The ground cracked beneath them. Ayla used all her power to protect her friends and strike. Vrex unleashed dark waves of energy, trying to overwhelm her. The fight reached its peak. Ayla remembered the truth. She saw in the orb that true power comes from control, not anger. She closed her eyes and focused her mind. Instead of attacking, she reached out with calm and understanding. Vrex's attack slowed. His eyes softened. For a moment, the war paused. Then, Vrex spoke quietly. Maybe there is a better way. The Ziran fleet began to retreat. The sky cleared. The rebels cheered. Ayla looked around, tears in her eyes. We did it, Marcus said. But the galaxy is still vast, Elias reminded them. Our fight may be over here for now. Ayla stood on the tower, looking at the stars. She knew the war had changed her. She was no longer just a girl with power. She was a guardian of Earth and of peace. The sky was calm now, but in the distance, new stars shone. New adventures awaited. Ayla smiled. The future was hers to protect.